Face reality, people. Movies are dead. Games are dead. Narrative? Dead.
Media is nothing but neural trigger response and viral conditioning.
Wait, what are you?
All right. So we have a review of Louis Theroux's The Settlers, which is interesting. We just watched the Oscar movie, No Other Land, and then I guess this came out the same day we watched that. I guess I had to watch this too. Kind of a similar story. Not too similar. It's less direct, first-hand type of information. It's more of him, like, I guess, Michael Moore style, asking, like, hey, well, how the fuck is this happening? And then asking some of these crazy people questions and letting them say everything. Now, whatever. It takes place in the West Bank, just like No Other Land. And I don't know, I would have figured this would have maybe attempted to capture more of October 7th, or not October 7th, but after October 7th, which it does take place there, but it takes place in the West Bank. And there's not enough talking about what's happening in Gaza. I can't emphasize that enough. I cannot emphasize that enough. Like I said, it is on the Holocaust level killing of people. It really is. And don't be the fool to where it's 10 years later you figure it out through an HBO documentary. Like, look up on it right now. I can't emphasize that enough. Please. Now, I'm not trying to step all over Louis Theroux's his I guess documentary or mini documentary or whatever. It's called a documentary. Because for people who had no idea what the fuck was going on, documentaries like No Other Land or this can help them realize, like, okay, there is at the very least subjugation happening. Maybe more so in No Other Land, you see like houses actually being bulldozed. You see inside the territory. You see more of what Palestinians are going through. And this is more of questioning the people that are quote unquote settlers, right? And getting more of their perspective and where they're at. And, seems like, I mean, Jesse kind of called it out, where it's like, although the on the surface images are religious based, which I think a lot of them believe in. Probably the majority believe in it. Like, that's the reason for doing what they're doing. But at the end of the day, it is just land grabbing. But then again, they say, like, oh, it's our land in the first place. Even though this fool in this picture, I think, is from Texas. Like, born and raised in Texas. Which is wild. Right? And it's like, I don't know.
What's wrong with Texas, bro?
You tell him that. He's the one who fucking left. Start settling up in other places.
I like it. It's pretty good.
Never been to Texas. Never been. I should go one day for the barbecue. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, it's an alright documentary. It's I guess you get a peek into somewhat of some of the psyches of people over there and how they behave, and it's kind of a very, it's very weird. All these guys, like, on the surface, try to seem like they're different, I guess, reasons for what they're doing, but they're all working in unison together. The military make sure you're not Palestinian if you can't cross certain lines. Obviously the settlers make sure. The religious folks make sure, like, they're all in unison. Like, yeah, we're gonna take over this territory. We're just gonna do it. Yeah, it's wild, man. It's wild, but sorry, like, I've seen it so many times, or already knew about this, to where it doesn't surprise me. I was, once again, hoping for more of a backdrop of what's actually happening in Gaza today, right now. Like, really get that emphasis, because there's no way anyone can make an argument about, well, yeah, this is justified. This is justified. We could do this. There's no argument for it. Even though the other things are, not really justifiable, in my opinion. Some people are going to say questions like, well, what about what Hamas does? They do this and they do that. And it's like, show what's happening in Gaza. Like, yo, is this a legitimate, proportionate response to what Hamas did or has done ever? Is this anywhere near proportionate? And then if you see the backdrop of the reasons, which they do show in this, and they show in, not as much in the No Other Land documentary, but in this one, they definitely show you, like, he's talking to settlers and people that want to expand territory for, they say, for Jewish people. It's their land, and they're expanding further and further into it as like a religious right to do. But if you can tie that in tandem with, once again, a wild amount of atrocities happening over there, in Gaza in particular, if you can tie those together and be like, should we make sure that this ideology here of it's our holy land and we get to just live on it and expand. I don't care if anyone was living there before. Knock down their houses, move in, eat up more and more territory till they're all gone. And someone admit, oh no, that's the crazy religious right. That's the right-wing crazies. The, not Bible thumpers, but Torah thumpers, whatever. If you tie in that shit, like, what if it's possible that either these guys are being used themselves by the government to expand territory, or maybe these government guys, maybe they actually believe in these kind of extreme ideas. Not kind of, but like, they're actually extreme ideas. If they believe in that while they're expanding their territory like this, like the what's her name, Daniela, the old lady, that the young old lady, I'll be nice. She said, yeah, Netanyahu is aware of this and he believes in it, but he can't say that out loud. Which is like what I mean, not exactly what I think. I think the guy's like a devil worshiper, to be honest with you. But you can see that, the goal is to wipe them out and get them out of the land for whatever reason he wants to do that for. Him and his administration, allowed the IDF, on and so forth. There's a lot of people that want to wipe them out and get them out of there. I'm talking about Gaza right now. I mean, all of it, but let's focus on Gaza with that. And it's like, damn, if you showed people that, Louis Theroux, or even the No Other Land documentary, if you guys could show that. Once again, give them all the prior information about the settlers' mentality, about what happens to Palestinians who aren't in Hamas or anything like that. There's regular civilians that get kicked out of their houses and their houses rolled over. And say, like, okay, this doesn't make sense as a response to this, unless your whole plan or idea is to wipe them off the map and take over the territory. Regardless of your reason, if it's religious, political, geopolitical, whatever. You're just a corrupt government, you just want to do corrupt shit. Whatever the reason is. Show that there's at least some link, I think, in regards to wanting to expand territory. It's just, I feel a little bit let down by both documentaries not showing me like what's happening in real time. Now, this could have been filmed a while ago, but there were still plenty of events. I should have video about the Biden administration knowing a genocide's happening and going along with it anyways. Because it's been happening. This is not a new phenomenon under Trump. It's just not. So, okay. I guess the mainstream. I mean, I think a lot of mainstream people will not see the Oscar-winning documentary, right? No Other Land. But I think a lot of regular-ass British people will see this fucking movie. Or documentary. And it's like, oh man, I feel bad. Instead of like that feeling like I got to do something about this, which is where you show the bodies piled up, buried in small ditches, houses you're getting all of it in that region right there in Gaza. So I'm like, I'm waiting for that. I get it. Starter kit for some people who have not looked into the topic at all. They get somewhat of a, I guess, a history lesson or a, hey, this is happening in the world right now. But my mentality, like, I would just go right for, like, this is most blatantly, there's no way you're in favor of this type of shit unless you're brainwashed or Douglas Murray. Or both. So, I don't know. I guess I'm waiting for that to come out. Once again, I'm not trying to poo-poo this. Like, I'm glad some British people will now be like, damn, man, they're just like taking over places, man. They're just fucking moving in and then just expanding the territory. And look at the subjugation. These Palestinians can't go here. They can't go there. There's checkpoints everywhere. And it is ethnically based, I would think. If I had to guess. If it was like, I'm not trying to be, you know, I don't know what the word would be. It would be racist or anti-religious or whatever. Like the dudes with the suits on and the hats and the curly fucking sideburns, the curly hair shit, right? Hasidic Jews or whatever. If they were walking down the street, would the IDF soldier like stop here, show me your papers? Would that happen to them? I don't think so. Someone tells you that that's not the case. If they had a camera crew, then maybe, right? But probably on an everyday or average day basis, you probably just look for skin color, bro. keep it a buck. Look for like the way the person's dressed, skin color. You know, they look for shit like that. Is he wearing a yarmulke or not? I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case. And yeah, it should freak out some, I guess, BBC watchers. Pause. And I guess some Americans that get their hands on it. But it's just, I can't help it, man. I can't help but point out, like, yo, like I said, they are, what I've seen, purposely eliminating a type of person from the planet Earth. Or at the very least, getting them the fuck out of that territory. The land they'd known for generations. Right? They didn't move there from Texas and try to take over. These fools have been here for generations. Like thousands of years of generations. And it's like, die or leave. And I wish there was more of an emphasis on how horrendous that is. But I guess we'll have to wait for another Louis Theroux documentary before, I guess, the average British person figures it out. I'm just saying, like, I'm just saying. But, you know what? This is in tandem with a lot of the culture, Western culture, starting to realize, like, so, wait a minute, something not right happening over there. And more people are complaining about it. You know, I'm like, all right. But I hope they don't minimize it to, it's just, you know, like shady territorial expansion. It's straight up like, we will murder shit tons of people for this. And that should be worrying for people. But for now, here's where we're at. Let's see if something else enters the mainstream one day. Maybe it already has, and I just haven't seen it in the British format or even American format. I've not seen much at all in America, but maybe in Europe or in the UK they're doing a little bit more. Who knows? So there you go. Yeah, definitely. Oh, I definitely recommend the documentary. Check it out. I found it on YouTube. I'm sure you can find it somewhere else. I watched it on Daily Motion last night. I played it again for everyone in here today. Allegedly BBC. Allegedly. I found a link on YouTube to watch it. So, hopefully you find it. All right. There's your video. Louis Theroux, The Settlers. Check it out.